When the people saw White Buffalo Calf Woman approaching them across the prairie, they were amazed. They were expecting one of greater years, yet she appeared no older than a maiden, as graceful as the grasses that waved around her in the twilight. Her face glowed with a radiance that spoke of wildflowers, watercress, and the finest of herbs. As she walked through the center of the village, many a warrior had first thoughts like those of their fallen brother, but they had heard by now the story of his fate, and they practiced a discipline of thought that to some of them was new. Barefoot, as she walked upon the earth in her travels, White Buffalo Calf Woman entered the tepee of many skins, her white buckskin dress radiating the presence of her spirit. Without speaking a word, she walked slowly in a circle around the fire that burned in the center of the tepee. As each of her sun-browned feet touched the sand, all who watched felt her prayerful reverence for the earth. 7 times, slowly and in silence, she walked around the fire. Few could look into her eyes. Those who dared saw pools of perfect blackness. So large were her pupils that those who looked into them could see the mirror of their face and the reflected flickering of the council fire, and they felt that they were looking at themselves, seeing themselves as they truly were, not exaggerating their strengths nor ignoring their failings, but as they were, naked and revealed. Those who could not with honesty look into the eyes of White Buffalo Calf Woman did not look at all. Even before she opened her mouth to speak, her bearing and example had given the people of the Sioux the greatest teaching those present had ever received. When she spoke at last, her voice was like the song of waters singing upon the rocks, like the song of prairie birds calling above the meadows. It reminded those who heard it of the wind that whispered around their teepees at night and whistled through the branches of the mountain pines. 7 times, she said, I have circled this fire in reverence and in silence. This fire symbolizes the love that burns forever in the heart of the Great Spirit. It is the fire that warms the heart of every buffalo calf, every prairie dog, every sage hen, every eagle, and every human being. You people of the Sioux are like a single being. This tepee of many skins is your body. This fire that burns at your center is your love. The fire of your love is at times expressed sexually. Here she paused and looked deeply into the eyes of those around her. There is a creative as well as a destructive way for this to occur. Passion that roars out of control is like a wild grass fire that destroys everything in its path. But tempered with wisdom, that same passion can fuel whole generations. It can warm 1,000 lodges through 100 snowy winters and give its power to your children and to your children's young. Those like the young man whose bones now lie beneath the prairie moonlight, who think first of the sexual expression of this fire and only second, if they think at all, of the spirit behind it, lock themselves into cycles of suffering and illusion, cycles that were unknown among our people a few short centuries ago, but which now are debilitating your nation, weakening your vitality, and draining away your power. Creation does not take place where there is a scattering and dissipation of energies. Creation requires a gathering together and focusing of your power within a circle of commitment, like a seed, an egg, a womb, or a marriage. If you would create and not destroy, you must remember always the sacred hoop. Consider wisely the ways in which you would use your power, and then, around those ways, draw the sacred circle of commitment. In the warm atmosphere of that circle, the power of love builds and builds like a storm above the wet summer prairie until suddenly the circle can hold no more and explodes in the conception of the new. This fire is more powerful than any one of you, White Buffalo Calf Woman said. pointing as she did to the flames dancing in the teepee's center and the 7 sacred circles I have walked around it represent the 7 worlds that it has created. You here live in all 7 of these worlds, but you are conscious only of one, the physical, the external. You have forgotten the inner worlds, the worlds of vision, the world from which I come and in which my kind lives. I am dressed like you people of the plains, but my tribe is not Sui. She paused a moment and slowly bent forward to pull a burning branch from the flames. My tribe is the firebird, she stated quietly. I am one of the bird people whose tribe once covered this island of the turtle. Do you remember the winged ones of heaven, the firebirds, the thunder tribes? How long has it been since you called to us in your councils? She walked only slowly around the fire, holding up the burning branch and looking searchingly into their faces for an answer. All eyes turned to the storytellers. The storytellers were silent. Your people have forgotten, White Buffalo Calf Woman continued, that which is more precious than water. You have forgotten your connection with the Great Spirit. I have come, she said, holding the burning branch above her, with a fire from heaven, to kindle again your memory of what has been, and to strengthen you for the times to come. She then placed the branch back into the fire and took from her side the skin pouch she carried. Many only now noticed this pouch for the first time. They were amazed at the beautiful beadwork and porcupine quill designs on its surface. In this pouch, she said, is a pipe. This pipe is sacred. I give it to you to help you remember the teachings that I bring. Always treat this pipe with respect. Carry it and the others you will make after its fashion, only in bags of the finest skin, decorated by only the most reverent of hands. Not yet opening the skin pouch that contained the pipe, but placing it reverently near the fire and occasionally gesturing toward it, White Buffalo Calf Woman explained the use of the pipe. Fill this pipe with the sacred tobacco grown especially for this purpose. Draw your first breath of smoke from this pipe as a breath of gratitude to the Great Spirit, from whose breath you were first given life. Use the smoke of this pipe to represent your thoughts, prayers, and aspirations. Send them upward with your exaltations to the Great One, Wakin Taka, grandfather of us all. Each time you do this, pass the pipe slowly and reverently among those who may be gathered with you, while each offers his first inhalation to the Great One above this world. Then, with your second breath of the sacred tobacco, let your thoughts be of love and gratitude to your mother, the earth. Give thanks for the grasses that clothe her breast in prairies of blowing grain. Give thanks for the canopy of blue sky that she holds for you as a world in which to live. Give thanks for the storm clouds that bring rain to the prairies, filling creeks, water holes, springs, and ponds. With reverence, pass the pipe around the circle while each one takes a second breath of the sacred smoke and does the same.